Hey, what's up, man? You joined at the perfect time. I just literally started. Wait for a few people to join in here. All right, what's going on, guys? How's your Friday afternoon going? Yesterday, I did my first ever Facebook Marketplace pickup. I was kind of a little bit, not necessarily irritated, but I wanted to have what I got yesterday shipped to me um, rather than having to drive to go get it. But then again, it was kind of nice because I don't really get out too much. So it was nice to kind of just get out and drive, somewhere new, that, I haven't been to before. And, I picked up things that I'll probably, yeah, I will show off on Childhood DVD Fan. I know I've been behind on one particular video for about a month now. I've neglected putting this up, but I'll get it up relatively soon, and then after that, I'll show what I got for the Facebook Marketplace pickups. So that'll be a future video for Childhood DVD Fan. Um, I hopefully will be getting that up before next week at a certain date because of a certain thing, but that's all to be discussed later, at a different time. Um, but yeah, we're almost at the end of July now. We're getting to, around August. So, um, you know, July is probably my favorite month of the year because it really just represents summer to me the most when I would go down to the beach a lot, in Jersey. Haven't really been there in a while, but, you know, yeah, I hope you guys are, having a good afternoon. I do look forward to when I'm showing the things that I got on Facebook Marketplace. It was a nice little town. It was, reclusive and, it was kind of like, wooded kind of like vibe, kind of whatever. And it was a little, it was a little irritating because I had to go to an apartment complex parking lot to meet an older woman to pick up the items for the Facebook Marketplace meetup. And, she lived in an apartment that I couldn't figure out, like, you know, because it was kind of a big apartment complex. So I was trying to figure out where am I supposed to go to for, the meetup, whatever. So thankfully, my Google Maps got me to the relative area. But I eventually figured out that, like, you had to walk down the stairs and, it wasn't like, there were some apartments where you could, just drive up and somebody's house was right there or, whatever. But this was a person who you had to walk down these stairs to go to her apartment. And she didn't want me to obviously go to her house. I understand that she was going to meet me in the parking lot, but trying to figure out where exactly to go. And then, I was kind of in the right area, but there was no signal. In the parking lot at this certain area that I eventually stopped on, and obviously I had to let her know because she wanted me to text her when I was there, so I had to then drive to a different spot in the parking lot just to get signal to let her know that I was there. And then when she came out, she started to head to the area where there was no signal, so then I had to get out of my car and chase her down and be like, hey. So kind of an irritating little pickup, but she was cool though. She was nice and everything, and she was telling me about the fact that these were her son's things that I picked up, and which I hope the son was like, hopefully she didn't steal it from the son and sold it to me, but whatever. So she was telling me about how the local mall, there was a signing like 20 years ago for the item that I got, which is kind of ironic. This will all kind of make sense later on when I do that video after the first one that I held off for about a month. But she was cool and everything, and picked up 4 things yesterday, 2 signed things for each artist, and so that'll be a future video on Childhood DVD Fan. Um, Look forward to being able to show you guys them. Uh, you know, So yeah, and got home. Thank God for Google Maps because got me there and back. Stopped at Wendy's on the way home, and that double like big bacon classic or whatever, that was freaking phenomenal, and the fries there were really good. So, um, it was a nice trip. Back home, saw a lot of water. With little rivers and lakes and stuff. So it was a nice thing to get out of the house and whatever. It was about an hour and a half away from where I live. So it was cool. I know that this is kind of a dead chat. There's not many people that are in here. But, this will be on the archives in the live section for the channel. So, yeah, if there's not really much traction, I'll probably get off at the 10-minute mark. But, just wanted to just quickly talk about yesterday and, mention the upcoming videos for Childhood DVD Fan, So, if you're still in here, my good friend, I know that LeBron today went to the 76ers. I know he left your Lakers, so which that was kind of unexpected. I didn't think that he was going to the 76ers of all teams, but it is what it is. But anyways, I'll probably get off a 10-minute mark anyways, because not really much traction going on here. I mean, 76ers have, some decent players. They just got Brown from the Celtics. They have a few nice, options. I didn't see the process. I know that when LeBron said trust the process, that's, Joel Embiid's kind of thing that he made, famous, whatever, although LeBron's said that beforehand, but that was kind of a thing where that was the first time I thought that the 76ers might be one of those teams that people weren't talking about, and that's exactly what ended up happening. He's only getting $4 million a year, so obviously when he says he's not rank chasing, he's a liar, complete liar, because you don't leave that much money on the table just to go to a team at that age to, just be happy, whatever, and then but not have other priorities. Of course, he's trying to rank chase. Kidding me? He just doesn't want to. He doesn't want to say it to himself. He doesn't. He whatever. So, anyways. Yankees are doing relatively okay. They need to have a great deadline though in order to really kind of capitalize on that. But I'm not very confident in our GM, who has needed to leave this organization for since I was in grade school, possibly middle school. But whatever, that's a talk for a different time. But anyways, hope you guys have had a good Friday. I'm going to hop off in about a minute because not much traction going on here. Yeah, so this has been Drake and Josh Superfan and Childhood DVD Fans. Stay tuned for those two videos. One of them is already filmed. I just have to edit it. I'm going to get that up, before next week at some point when I'm busy with something else. And then, after that, I'll, probably film, obviously I'll film the Facebook Marketplace pickups that I got yesterday and then put them on the channel after a certain date because I'm preoccupied with a few things. Anyways, guys, I hope your Friday has been good. Just getting ready for August and, the fact that eventually summer will be over. It's been raining a lot here in the Northeast in the area that I've lived for quite a while now, mixed in with a lot of hot. So I look forward to one of those evening out. So anyways, this has been Drake and Josh Superfan, Childhood DVD Fan. Have a good rest of your Friday, guys. So long, everyone. Stay tuned for the